Did not expect that.
Hey, sweet pea.
Yes.
Jennifer wants an invitation to the private group.
Okay, I'll do it now.
If you can send that to her,
I will
we'll
do it
let
right
her.
now. I'm inviting someone. Since you jump on your night, please say hello. There's no one watching right now, so I'm not stressing over what I'm doing. There we go. Say hi as you jump on here. Someone is watching me tonight. I am hello, hello, hello. I cannot see your name. This is Facebook user, but I did get some people invited. What's up, Gina? Hello, hello, hello. Make sure you say hello. Tell me. Make sure you give StreamYard permission to use your name. I'm going to be live for a little bit. It's Magic Monday night. I went live a little late today, this morning. Just kind of catching everybody up. Didn't stay live long. Um, Talked about this eye situation I got going on here. Um, it's better closed, but it's Monday night. I thought I would jump on. We would do a little Magic Monday tonight. I've got a whole stack of my cards right here. Feel a little cold. I had some things going on in my brain a little earlier, and my stories did not come out like they were supposed to. And so I thought I would come live over here and say hello, go over a couple of things. I know people have not been catching me in the morning sometimes because of the what's up, Elizabeth? Because of the time of day. A lot of you do have day jobs and you're not able to be on in the mornings. And my live schedule has been all out of whack because of the being in the pokey, in the Facebook pokey. So tonight I decided I had kind of one of those days that, would have been, it was just one of those days, right? We're not going to say it was good or it wasn't bad. It was exactly as it was supposed to be. Today was exactly it was as it was supposed to be, because not every single day is rainbows and unicorns, right? It's not all sunshine and rainbows and just fluffy bunnies and all the things. Some days are just a little like meh, meh, right? And today was one of those days. So what have I done today? What have I done to combat that? So just so you know, my story didn't post right, but I had some stuff I needed to do today, right? I needed to get this eye looked at because it's been acting up for a minute, and we are hopefully moving in the direction of, I believe, 1 million trillion quadrillion% in plants over pills. If you believe that as well, can I get an amen, hallelujah in the comments? But here's the thing. I also believe that Western medicine has its place, right? I believe that there's a holistic approach, and that finding a healthcare provider, someone who's trained in the art of medicine, because there are people who are trained in that. There are certain things that I'm very glad for, technology, right? X-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, um, surgical procedures like laser surgeries, and all of the things that we have evolved to be able to do to save lives and to treat people that need to be treated, right? So I'm not someone who's like, I don't believe in medicine. I have doctors and all the things, right? um, I am someone who believes that people should not, my health should not be at the request of someone else. Like the doctor's like, I'm not rich enough, so you can't live, right? If you don't pay me $2 million, you can't have this knee surgery. Like, I don't think that that should be the case. I think that that should kind of be like a human right in this environment, right? Or like doctors should be paid like teachers are paid based on performance. So if you heal that person or you help that person heal and you bring the tools in to help them get better, then you get compensated more appropriately than keeping them sick, right? And so that's my struggle with big medicine and big pharma. It is basically trying to find the healthcare provider and me calling it and now saying, I'm going to find the doctors that are aligned to me. And my last primary care physician, still I would consider my primary care, even though I've not been in a couple of years because of insurance, right? Um, I trusted them. I did. I don't know that I always probably got the very best care, but I got the best care that they could give me at the moment. Right before I stopped going, the new nurse practitioner was someone who really believed in um, Reiki and esoteric and spiritual healing. And, she believed that there was just ease in the body, was also energy, and it was going to be a good fit. But because of the way the world has turned out, we just take deep breaths and we just release it, and it's all going to be fine. And I'm going to find the healthcare provider to treat all the things going on, like eyes and all the things, right? That I'm aligned to. And I hope that you have providers out there that you're aligned to, because it's very difficult to find someone. It's very difficult, in my opinion, to find a good doctor these days. And I don't think it's because of the people who choose to be doctors, because I believe that they go into it for the right reasons. I believe it's because of everything else. It's the political system, or the regulatory system, that puts such a hindrance on being able to use common sense anymore, because so many people stop using it, right? That um, it's just a shame. So anyway, today did not go as it needed to go. Um, I don't know how I got on the topic of healthcare, but it is what it is, right? It's exactly how it was supposed to go today. And not every day is amazing. Not every day is a beautiful, like I said, a sunshine rainbow day, right? But every day, we put one foot in front of the other, and we remember that we hold space of love and light and health and healing, and that all is going to be exactly as it's supposed to be. And like, it is what it is, right? It's holding that space despite of what the day showed. And I was like, it's Monday night. I had one of these weird energy days. Hey, girl. Not sure who this is. It just says, hey, Tammy. I see, yes, ma'am. I think that's Elizabeth that tagged Lee, because I know she said it's her best bud. So I can't remember that stuff, right? But what we're talking about tonight is Magic Monday, right? And I felt a calling that, my angels, gods, and helpers said, good job today, Tammy. Good job today. We're proud of you for not letting today just make you mean. Not letting today. Hey, Amanda, I should have known. I don't know why I knew that was you. Energetically, I knew that was you. But I didn't want to say that, because I was like, I had some new people in here, and like, hey, Tammy's, that's so Amanda Giorgetti when she jumps on. I almost said, that's AG, that's AG. And it's funny, because it was about a year and a half ago, maybe, that Amanda kind of rolled into my stratosphere, maybe even 2 years now. I'm not sure how long ago it's been, but she met me through Pure Romance, through the other side of my online presence, right? The hashtag Party with Tammy. And it was a big fun thing trying to get her name right. And like, I would say G or Jetty, or I was trying to be very soprano with it. So we had this whole like repertoire about me and her last name. So not think I should have called her AG from the jump, right? But hello, Heather. So today did not go to plan, to the point of like, couldn't get this looked at. Didn't happen. Um, I also may have a German chocolate cake. I had a bunch of these made, and just being honest, they have not sold as quickly as I thought they were going to. And I don't like things not to stay very fresh. These were not frozen; they were refrigerated. So it looks like this week it will be my nighttime snack. They'll be my nighttime snack. Mm. And I need this because of this and all this and this. But it's night night snack, right? Mm-hmm. It is. It's really good. And I'm surprised, because I will say, with any baked treat, with any, I don't care what it is, with any baked treat, the day it's baked or fresh out of the oven, it's something about that bite, right? And I usually try to do like an extra of everything, and somebody and every out of every batch, someone that at quality control tries that bite. I want to see the reaction, or I want to feel the reaction of that fresh bite, right? Then I always, if I have stuff that I'm going to like make in bulk, right? Like wrap and freeze and all of that. I also like randomly. So randomly, what I will do when I pull my night snack, so y'all know how we do customer control around here, is like tonight. What I'll do is I will go grab a not fresh treat. So like usually I'll try the fresh treat once I hold a big baking day Tuesdays, right? But on the other days, like Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays, right? When I grab my night snack, I will mix it up. Like I have some things that I have favorites of that would be if I had a choice if I was going to buy my box from me, if I was going to place my order, I know what my order would look like because I do have an edible before bed and I would continue to do that even if I was buying it from someone else, right? So I randomly will pull something based on like, okay, that's that batch. Let's see, number one, how that's going to taste, right? And after a week of being frozen, let's see how that's going to hold up a month after being frozen. I'm going to let that defrost. I set this out, right? This one is, like I said, in the fridge. It's sealed in the fridge in an airtight. It says like up to a month in the fridge. It's been a week. There's a couple of these left, not a whole lot of these left. But I'm going to be honest. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Um, Oh, I love that. I'm very pleasantly surprised at even though it's not as like hi, it's not as nearly as moist as like spongy because it's still a little cold, but it's still a very, very, very delicious bite of cake. It's just not that initial bite with the sponge. This is gonna so what happened was because I check these things, right? So with pound cake, and this is a little lesson that we'll talk about today, and we're going to pull some cards. I want to get some people watching, so I'm giving y'all time to check on. So do me a favor, say hi in the comments, right? Because I'm getting shadow banned. So the more you comment or hit the react button and tag people, the more the live will be in the algorithm in the stream, so people will actually be able to find it. And then it'll bring up the algorithm for the group and for me to be able to get back into y'all seeing what the hell I'm doing, okay? So when you refrigerate cake, the sponge kind of tightens. It's just the gluten and all the flours and all the things that work in the thing. But the cold and the time just causes it to seize a little bit. But it's still a very delicious cake. I would be very happy to get this and be fine. You know, by the time it gets to like, yeah, I can see your name now. Yes. So here you go. Yes. And it's funny that you said that and then she said this because Amanda Giorgetti is all about an ice cream crumble. She's all about a crumble on some ice cream, aren't you, Amanda? Cookies or brownies. Mm. This frosting is out of this world. I try to make the cake not as rich because the icing is very rich. But anyway, so yes. So I pull these for quality control to make sure that there's something that I would want you to get in your box to be excited about. Now, this didn't happen today, so I canceled 2 appointments for no reason. Then my groceries, which had all of the like little pieces and parts of ingredients I needed to finish like everything tomorrow that I don't have ready today. Um, I go over early to do a few little errands because of this. This didn't happen, so I'm out in town, right? And I'm already parked at Walmart in the grocery area. Um, because it's any moment now that my grocery order will be ready and I can just say I'm parked. They're going to bring mine right on out. No big deal. And get the delay message. It's going to be several hours before my groceries are ready. And then it give me the option to cancel it because it might be 8 to 9 o'clock tonight. I'm not coming back out at 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So I guess that order is going to be canceled. And then I have to go shopping first thing in the morning. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be at the store buying the pieces and parts of the things that I need to be able to finish up the few things I need to bake to get everybody's orders together. So, number one, I want you to be patient, just a little bit patient with me this week. I'm doing everything kind of one-eyed, right? But tomorrow, the majority of things are going to be kind of done, and everything, most of everything will be going out tomorrow. There's going to be a couple of things that might be Wednesday morning. That's all. So I will be in touch if I can't get your stuff to you first thing tomorrow. All of the prizes should be able to be in the mail on the last mail of the month. So the last mail of the weekend or the week, which means Friday night into Saturday morning. So if you're local, you can pick up your stuff Friday if you have prizes, if you're local. And then if it's being shipped, it'll either go with your next order like we talked about, or if you're paying shipping, I'll be in touch with you before Friday to make that decision. So that's where we're at with that. Heather said she missed a class tonight. Yes. Yep. One piece falls, the whole day goes to shit. And that's what, that's what I said. It's like, you know what? They obviously haven't even started preparing my order yet. They haven't even started like picking my order. It's just easier at this point if I say no because I'm already frustrated. They're probably having a really shit day. Yes, Amanda. Amanda Giorgetti, you won a pineapple upside down cake. You won a pineapple upside down cake. I know you're excited about that. Elizabeth Jackson won one of these, and she's going to be super excited um, about that. But it was interesting. Heather Johns has said that she feels this. She was there, missed a class tonight. She said it feels the whole day goes to shit, right? Oh, Gina, you're ever on YouTube. Awesome. No, you're fine if you're ever on YouTube. I love it. If you're on YouTube, give me some love from YouTube. Woo, woo. Give me that heart button and that subscribe button below. Ding the bell to know when I'm live. I'm getting better at YouTube. I learned that last week. But anyway, Sunday morning, Sunday sermon, the message that was coming through, and I remember I told you I had to go live, even though I was like tired and wanted to take the day off all day. It was about perseverance. Perseverance. Like you persevered through all of the stuff last week, right? And then I'm going to be honest, it was like the universe today. I never missed my class. It was a shit. Yeah, I know it was shit. I'm sorry, darling. I know that sounds like I can feel it. I can feel it. We're gonna pull you a card first, Heather Johns, in a minute. But I'm gonna pull you a card first. I'm gonna make a little list here, and I'm not gonna do a ton tonight. I'm going to do cards, and I'm going to do. If you're watching, you'll get one, I'm sure. Yes, perfect. So, Gina, you're good. So I'm gonna make a little list here. I got all kinds of little notes here. Okay. I got you. Okay. So I have on the list right now. Heather is getting one first because I can feel her energy. Then I'm going to do Elizabeth Clark. Elizabeth Clark, tell me yes, you're still here because she commented on the post that she wanted one. And I don't want her to have to wait because that was fair that she did that. I just did the order. And then I had Amanda Giorgetti came in, and then Gina, and then Melanie Faircloth. So that's who I have on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 people watching, and I have 5 people on the list. Is that probably everybody right now? So share it out for me real quick. Okay, so here's the thing. I thought so. So perseverance. And it was yes, I have you on the list, Amanda, and I have Melanie here. Perfect. I have everybody there. Yes. It was like the universe was like, okay, she held her space last week. We gave her a little. It's like they shook up. Okay, Kim, I got your girlfriend, Kim Jones. Kim Jones. Okay, so it was like last week. I felt like I was the lightning bug in the jar, And the universe shook me up. And it was like, you're still in the jar. Everything in your universe is still going to happen. But you got to figure out, get your bearings, right? Get your bearings. And I felt like, for the most part, even though it was a little hectic, it was a little frantic at moments, it was a little bit more work, but I felt like we landed on our feet and we did a really good job, right? And Saturday afternoon, my love meter was full, right? I sat in my chair Saturday evening and I was like, I am so excited for, you know, for what we were able to accomplish given the circumstances, right? But I also noticed that I was doing, and I'm wondering if this is, like you walk through it, Magic Monday, we talk about the things, right? Then, Sunday morning, the eye is all swole up. Like, um, it was like the universe was like, we told you if you didn't take a break, 2x4 therapy was coming. And I'm like, but I'm taking a break, right? And I'm just trying to get my mojo back, right? It's like I feel like the universe was like still kind of shaking me up, and it's like, let's see how she does when we take an eye out, right? Um, when you let's take an eye out. Let's make her feed her. Let's do something, right? Let's not give her groceries, right? Let's honestly just throw some more stuff at her, right? And what I realized today in all of my deep breaths, because y'all, great day. If you knew how many times today I stopped my what was going to be crippling anxiety or um right, um how many times I stopped myself today. I smelled the birthday cake, y'all. I smelled the shit out of that birthday cake. I sucked. And then I blew the fuck out of them candles, right? I Now, one of the things I want to notice, y'all notice what I'm not wearing today? I have none of my energy protections on today. None of them on today. Um, I know that I have to get up in the morning. I need to do my gratitude meditation. I need to get back into my routine of putting on my energy bubble, my bright light coming in. Um, I feel like sometimes when we take a day off, we take a day off from all of it, right? I wasn't good. I wasn't good at my daily like self-care. I just was like, I didn't take a shower until like late in the evening, right? So what I'm finding is, right, is that so I get it. I live with three old people who are freaking out about flying home without me. Patience and grace are the words of the day. So everybody is going back to Toledo. I thought they lived there full time and only you were leaving. So I did not realize that it was a snowbird situation for everybody. Well, we're gonna send lots of love and light to Heather and her situation for everybody to have safe flights home. And we're gonna say that that's gonna be a process that's going to be no snowbird. Okay. So we're going to have all of that happen for you and exactly how it's supposed to, with gentleness, ease, and grace. That's what we're going to ask for. Um, you know, that's what happens. Like, I should have asked for a day off with gentleness, ease, and grace versus like, I'm doing it. I understand. I feel like the universe forced my hand at the day off, and my body and my whatever's going on begrudgingly took it. And that's why all the stuff is breaking down on me the last couple of days, right? But today I took the deep breaths. I said, you know what? I'm not going to let it fret me. Where there's a will, there's a way. I've got to be more flexible. I've got to go with the flow a little bit more. So when I couldn't have steaks with sweet potatoes and a salad and asparagus for dinner tonight, I'd already bought the steaks at a different store, right? And then all the other stuff was at the store I was picking up that didn't have my order. I went to the little Amish store and we had steaks with sweet potato and a California medley because they had vegetables. They didn't have salad stuff that was worth the shit. So it's what I got. Um, it's the best laid plans, right? It's knowing that it's the power of knowing. And this work, I guess, is maybe like I'm like I am taking this pretty effing good. Like I am rolling with these punches pretty good. Like I am not sitting and stewing. I'm like, can you please, like, I learned it. Can we please move to level 4 of Jumanji? Because I feel like level 3, we've done it. Like we're good. We get it, right? Shit doesn't go as planned. But can I level 5 now where something goes as planned, but then there's something else to deal with because it makes you a little gun shy. But here's what it is, right? I'm a little nervous, right? I'm like, what's next? And that is worrying about what's next is me praying for things. See how I worked it out right there? It's praying for things I don't want to happen. And that's exactly what I've been doing all day. Is like, I got this. So what are we doing now? What's next? Right? Maybe I need to not say that. Maybe I need to like, yeah, you didn't plan for your leg. Exactly. And Amanda, that's perfect, right? The universe will not give you something you can't handle because we are able to handle anything that we put our mind to. And I said today, I'm like, I'm not going to let this shit get on my nerves. Is it on my nerves? It's on my nerves. It is on my nerves, right? But it's not going to end the day. So let's go ahead and do a few little cards. I'm not going to stay here past 10. So I've got Heather, Elizabeth. Heather Johns is first. Elizabeth Clark is second. Amanda Giorgetti, Gina Shelton, Melanie Faircloth, and then Kelm. So we're going to do those in that order. We're going to start with a Heather. I'm trying to figure out which cards I need to read for you. Heather, I'm going to pull a say. I think I'm going to stick tonight for everybody, and I think that this is the plan. You know what? We're going to do change how you word. Otherwise, you manifest. Yeah, you have to be careful, right? No stinking thinking. We're gonna pull from our mermaids, princesses, and witches cards tonight. We're gonna pull from the Believe in Your Own Magic deck because I think that that's the message tonight. I was thinking like Sacred Spirit reading cards because animals have been popping up lately, but I think I'm gonna do some work for myself on some animal totems and some ritual and some. I need to do some. I had my appointment today with Carly and I had to miss because of all this. I had another appointment for this, and then that didn't happen, and all the things went haywire. And that's my Reiki and esoteric and all the things. And so I'm gonna need to reschedule that sooner rather than later, right? Yes, I love this deck too. And we're gonna call in our angels, gods, and helpers. I'm gonna call in Heather's. Ooh, Heather, you got a team. Help me be a clear and perfect channel for the work that I'm doing here. To give Heather the message that she needs to help her move forward with gentleness, ease, and grace. The next class. Ooh. Okay, this is definitely. Woo. All right, Heather. I'm going to read this. I'm not sure. This is interesting. This is an interesting image, actually. And something big is coming in on this. Yeah, this is coming in big. I'm going to show you this card. It's Castle. And it's time for healing, not war. Okay? And it's time for healing, not war. And I'm feeling like some big energy about going home full time. I feel like there's some big energy coming in for that, right? And it's talking about like if you go home, it's a lot of this attitude we're talking about today, a lot of this message that's coming in, it's like you just talked about it, right? And if you're heading home, then you need to head home not with the anticipation of it being a war or a fight to get back in routine. There's something about like there's some anxiety around like getting back into the Toledo routine from the Key Largo routine, and that it's like power versus force kind of thing, like that kind of feeling. There's like a big part that's like ready, and then a big part that's like it's reality, kind of like a reality check kind of thing. That's what I'm picking up, and it's saying what I'm feeling is that if you go in right with the idea of let's heal it, let's and making the best of that situation with an open mind, then it's going to be a good situation, right? Um, okay, so I don't know if there's already been an argument, maybe. This is what this says. It says don't burn something down to the ground unless you have a plan to build something better in its place. But it's too late for that, isn't it? You got angry, you pointed fingers, you called for war, and war is exactly what you got. Now that it's time for healing and reparations, what's the plan? Okay. You need to take the same initiative and determination you had when it started and figure it out. Never neglect your intuition. So, what I'm picking up from this is maybe that there's already been like strong words around it, right? But I feel like while you've been away, you have figured out what you're going to build in its place. And like you just said, right? You're a changed person from what you left. But you need to be true to your intuition. And I'm going to be honest, it's interesting that you say that this came up for you and what this was coming in for me. It's like um my husband was way more receptive to all of the woo woo when I started just talking to him about it versus trying to keep it separate because I assumed he would not be interested or would not get it or would think I was crazy. And I will tell you that um, when you just, when you are as authentically yourself with your partner as you are with the rest of the world, when you let them in, when you allow that, when you give them the benefit of the doubt, when you don't try, when you do not assume, you will be surprised at what they are capable of understanding. Because here's the thing, right? Our partners love us, all of us, the whole part of it. And they get upset and they get angry about things that we keep from them because they feel like we're hiding it or we're not sharing it or it's a part of us that we're keeping away from them. And when you make that relationship, connection, like for my marriage, it was that we agreed to be everything for each other, like to be a part of all of it. And so for some reason that's important to say tonight, and I don't know why, for you specifically with this. And you was talking about not knowing about how it will be received, and it's more about going in with the attitude, right? It's more about going into with the attitude of being true and allowing it to stand in the knowing, to stand in the power of it, to trust in your intuition and to not try to force it. And by not including or excluding, that's forcing it in its own way to be over here. So just be as authentically yourself as you are, and allow trust, right? Trust that for richer, for poor, for sicker, for all those things, it's also in woo woo and in not woo woo, and in open, ascension and fourth dimension as well as fifth dimension. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be okay. All is well, and you can only control what you need. Like I tell Red all the time, like I have to say this. This is how I feel from my perception. Once this leaves me, I'm not asking you to give me any explanation. I'm saying here's the information, what I have for me. You take that information, perceive it how it needs to be perceived in your world, do with it what you will, and behave as you want. And then allow me to make the decision whether that's appropriate for me or not. You know what I mean? Like he can't control, I can't control how he reacts to what I do, and he can't control how I react to what he does, right? You're both bullheaded as hell. I'm married to a Taurus. I'm a Libra, he's a Taurus. So, you know. So castle. It's time, but it says it's time for healing, not war. So go in with the mindset of healing. That's the message I have for you tonight, Heather. Thank you. And that looks so much like a war zone behind her. And like she's holding on to symbolism of like, I want this, like this connection, right? He's a Taurus, I'm a Gemini. Ooh. Okay. So next we have Um, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you here, darling? Elizabeth Clark. All right, we're going to pull a card for Elizabeth Clark. Calling in all my angels, guides, and helpers. Calling in those that are helping to lead Elizabeth. Help me find the clear and perfect message for Elizabeth tonight. Make me a clear and perfect channel for this work that I'm about to do. This is your card. All right, Elizabeth, let's see what you got tonight. Interesting. I don't even know what this says yet, but the imagery is interesting. Okay. I love this. Okay. This is confidence. It comes with time and practice. And what I saw in this, and it's interesting, I was thinking like reflection. Um, when I saw the imagery from like here, because I can't see out of this eye, and I've had half of this. That's the most like potent, and I'm like I'm blind in this eye, and I really can't see in this one right now. But you and I are truly connected. I had no doubt. I know. Okay, Elizabeth, confidence. It comes with time and practice. Time and practice. You see the image? She's traveling by herself. She's doing all of these. This is what I get from this. That's what I thought like reflection. It's about like it looks like a female traveling alone. It obviously wasn't travel. Um, and I think that as women specifically, right, we need to confidence is a big shadow work for us. For me, it was right. For me, it was huge shadow work with confidence. And it's one of those things that I still struggle with tremendously. And when it says time and practice, right? Do something. This comes from our Sunday sermon, right? Do something um, that you've never done before by yourself that takes confidence to do, right? That's the way you practice being confident. Maybe it's speaking in a crowd or going live on the internet or taking a trip by yourself, going to a restaurant and sitting at a table and eating alone. I know women that can't do any of this, that will not do any of those things. I know people that I don't go out to restaurants by myself. I don't travel alone. I don't they don't do anything alone. Like they don't have I'm not confident to sit there by myself and look at it's just weird, right? What this card is telling me, right, is that self-love is really rooted in confidence, right? And that's why it's so hard for us. And it's a weird, I'm trying to get this message. It's a weird, like a heart space message. I feel like there was a confidence, something beat your confidence out of you. Like it took your confidence out, like a repetitive thing. Like bad, like maybe like some childhood trauma, maybe some family thing, like you're not worthy, you're not good enough. Like you heard over and over and over again how you weren't enough. Like you don't feel like you're enough. And that's the shadow work that has to be done for this time and practice, right? Every day looking in the mirror and saying, I got this. I am amazing just as I am. And having the confidence to know that you can do anything you set your mind to. That starts the process of moving into like a true sense of self-love, right? It takes me a lot sometimes, right? To get out of the I tell people all the time the way to learn to love yourself is to like get buck naked out of the shower. You're as vulnerable as you can be. Get that big steamy mirror in front of you, wipe it off and look yourself dead in the eyes and say, I love you, Tammy. You sexy beast. You're amazing. Like look dead in my eyes. I look at myself dead in the eyes and just say that, right? But just say it and truly mean it. And the first day I got out of the shower, I was like, this is going to be so stupid. I'm like, I love you, right? Like, I can do this. Like, this is the homework I got from my woo-woo guru. And she's like, look in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself. I was like, okay, no problem. I got this. But when I went to do it, she's like, but mean it. Like, don't lie to yourself. There's nobody in that mirror reflection but you. You're talking to you. So don't lie to yourself. And when I got out of the shower and I cleaned off the mirror and I looked at myself, all of the things that I'd ever heard, either from my internal monologue or that external monologue, was all the things that you're not worth it. You're not worth love. You don't this, you don't that. You look at that. And I started noticing all the awful things about my body, the stretch marks and the cellulite and the boob that was here, that used to be here, and all of the things. Yes. And I couldn't do it. I could not say it to myself, right? But I went back to my woo woo guru and I said, hey, I was like, that was harder than I thought. I'm not ready. How do I do it? Like I can't I can't look at myself like that. I was like, I can't even close my eyes and do it because I'm not being honest, because I'm not treating myself like I love myself. Like, how can I say that? Like, that's lying to myself. And I don't want to lie to me. Like, people lie to me forever. You go through the whole thing. And she says, okay, find something you can love about yourself. So I knew you were going to come back with this. This is the next step of the thing. She's like, um, look at yourself and go, look at just take, like, look at your earlobes and like, oh my gosh, these are the most beautiful earlobes I've ever seen. Or she says, tell me something you love about yourself. I'm like, well, I have beautiful green eyes. She's like, well, look at yourself with your green eyes and say you have beautiful green eyes, and start loving the pieces of yourself. And with time and practice, right, you'll have the confidence and you'll have the power to stand in and look at yourself in that mirror and say that you love yourself. Because when you start seeing the little pieces and parts, right, of all the things that are beautiful about you and all the things that matter. Because when I started really looking at myself, I'm like, I have a beautiful heart. Like, I love to help people. And what happened was, is like every day looking in that mirror, in an effort to try to find something, because every day I had to tell myself one new thing that I loved about myself. And I could do my eyes and I could do my earlobes and I might be able to like do like my nails that day, because they like, that one day a month where you, like, your nails are clean, they look like they've been manicured, like, my nails are good. I started getting to the things that mattered about what was good about me. Like, I took it all from an exterior thing to start with, right? I took it all from, like, well, I don't like my belly button because it's all stretched out, and I don't like my gut, and I don't like my butt, and I don't like my arm fat, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, but I do like all these amazing qualities about myself. And the more that I started recognizing all the things that mattered, the things that I am smart, I am fearless, I am a good friend. And when I started saying all of those things, and every day it was like adding one more thing to the list, then I was like, I love me. Like, I did not see any of those flaws anymore. I didn't see the 52 scars from the 53 surgeries, right? I didn't see the gallbladder scar, the appendix scar, the hysterectomy scar, the knee surgery scar, the thyroid scar, um, the broken bone stitches. I stopped seeing all the things that I thought were the flaws that defined me, and I had the confidence, right? I had the confidence with time and practice to stand in my power, to share my gifts with the world, to believe in myself, and to say that I love me and have that true self-love. And when you have that true self-love, right, you can't love anyone else, and you can't be loved until you first love yourself, because that's a true love, right? That's a love that you can, like, I need to love, someone needs to love me as much as I love me, right? They need to love me this much, and you can kind of set a guide for that. So that's the message that I got for you. Hope that makes sense. That's what came in. I want to stop trying to, like, make sense of the messages and just let them come, right? And that's what I'm trying to lean into. I love it. I'm pretty 5'4" away guy. I love it. So confidence, right? And that's what you need. It comes with time and practice. And here's the thing: if at first you don't succeed, try again, right? Try again. Um, we're all works in progress. Progress is better than perfection. I still have days when I can't say it, and then I look deep. I'm like, what am I not seeing? What am I upset about? Right? It's just time and practice. Okay. That is Elizabeth. All right, Amanda Giorgetti. Thank you, Elizabeth. Guides. Thank you to Heather's guides. All right, Amanda. I need you to take some deep breaths for me. Calling in my guides to help me to get the perfect message for Amanda Giorgetti. I don't know, they're telling me to do the cards this way. I'm like, I'm supposed to like, they're going to come this way apparently. Okay, you can shuffle now. Okay, thank you. Well, there's a jumper. All right, Amanda. Interesting, right? Hmm. That's so interesting. The message that's coming in for this. Here's the thing, like I'm getting these messages to kind of like tell y'all some things tonight, and I'm like, I'm just gonna tell you some things, right? So you got the villain card, right? You can always rewrite the story. And I love this card because you do not know who the villain is in this card, right? Yeah. This is a deep one, right? You don't know who the villain is because it's all about perspective, perception, and perspective. And what I'm hearing from this card for you is that it's less important to control the narrative about who the villain is because every hero is a villain. Every villain is a hero in their story. And every hero is a villain in the villain story. Right? So it's less important to control the narrative as it is to be true to what it is you're doing. So whatever it is, if you're doing it with the good intention, good intentionality, good motives, good means, good all the things, right? With all the good things, it's more important to not act as the villain than it is to really to be worried about who thinks you're a villain. And I keep getting like the Shakespeare thing, like I think thou protest too much, right? And it's like the more you try to defend yourself from being considered a villain in somebody's story, um, you are in turn kind of fitting the bill. It's like the more you try to argue that you're not the villain, the more you actually are becoming the villain. Does this make sense at all? I don't know what this is about. It's not for me to know. It's for you to understand. But it's saying, like, look at this picture, right? Is the villain like a spider that's ready to bite her and she's going to crush it with the rock? Or is she just being a butthole and crushing that shell on the ground? There are music notes all around this, right? And this, it's interesting because what I was hearing right as I pulled this card, there's a song that's on TikTok, and um, it comes in for me as for messages sometimes, and it's by Lily Rose, and it's called Villain. It's so interesting that it came in, and it's talking about tell them all, I'm the villain. Um, I'm okay with being the villain. Like let them believe it. If that makes you feel better, I'm okay with it. And it's kind of like the way that the perception and the story of that song is told. You believe the storyteller. Like you're like, I'm on this person's side because they're okay with being the villain. They're like, I am so steadfastly right in what I am doing. I am so 100% at peace in my heart space with the steps that I'm taking, the reasons why I'm doing it, that I don't give two shits what anybody else says about it. If I need to be the villain in your story for you to feel better, then I am okay with that because I need this outcome to happen. Yeah, right, exactly, right. Sorry, I have to move my body because, ow, right. And that's what I got from you. And I think that so Amanda says it makes a lot of sense to her. It should, right? And that's the thing. It's um like it's so stupid what came out of my mouth, what was coming out of my mouth. And I'm gonna trust my guides. It'll make sense, right? Like keep your mom, my wife's name out your motherfucker. out my mouth. Like he made himself the villain in that, right? It's kind of the same thing. Like the more you argue it, the more you're going to look like the asshole. So just stop. Let's do the right thing and let the chips fall where they may for everything else. Don't stress over it, right? And at the end of it, and that's the thing, right? It says you can always rewrite the story. Like think about all the things that we learn about throughout history, and how like you think somebody is this way, and then the real story comes out, and it's like, whoa, the story can always be rewritten. I was a history major, right? And I love all of those shows. Like there was this one show about time travel, and it was about how history recounts things that happened and like characters of people. And then it had like people playing like Amelia Earhart and all these other like historical figures. And the story was way better than the actual like person, right? The image of it. So when you know that like you have seen like y'all we've all seen it, right? And here's where the call to catch comes in, right? When we are like so worried, like that's what they do on Facebook, but that's going to show, right? It's like the image. You've seen people that their image is so great, but you know the real story, right? So why can't we see that whenever people are talking bullshit and we know the real story? Why can't we be okay with like I know the real story? I don't need to be involved in this. Like it's none of I don't care. And I feel like there needs to be some like stop looking at something like that's coming in for you. Like stop worrying about it. Stop looking at it. And I'm not sure. I feel like this has got like 1 foot at work and 1 foot at home. And I feel like it's not like I feel like there's two separate things that you're kind of big. It's like going on like drama in places. So it's not just one situation, really. So for all of it, just like I'm Bennett and I ain't in it. That's what I'm Bennett and I ain't in it. I'm gonna do what's right for me and mine. I know that I'm right in my activities and my actions. And y'all tell the story how the fuck you want to tell it because I don't care. And that's the language coming in just like that too. Like I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. And you can't care. And you have to really mean that. And it's like showing me Elizabeth's like, tell her to look in the mirror and say, I don't care, and really mean it until you cannot care, right? Until you cannot care. And if you cannot not care, reevaluate your motives. Because it's not about being right unless you're right. I don't know what that means, but that's what just came in. It's not about being right unless you're right. And so I don't know what that means, but that's your reading tonight, Amanda. And you got lots of like heart palpitations. I have no idea this. So it just pops in, doesn't it, Gina? So let me do this. All right, Gina, you're next. So Gina, you're next. So Gina. Let's see what kind of message we get for Gina tonight. I'm calling in my angels, guides, and helpers. And I'm asking Gina's spirit team to connect with mine to make sure we give her the card that is the best and up to her utmost good. That jumped out big time, Gina. Your card just fell out the deck. It like jumped. Oh my gosh. I can't even pick it up. Here we go. All right, Gina. I was calling everybody. She was like, I got it. Here it is. Here's a card for her. I got a bug on my. Okay. All right, Gina. This is interesting. I love this. This is the lighthouse card. It says, don't doubt your worth. And the card, let's see the little thing she's hanging on the ceiling, because I am enough, right? And I feel like you have been doubting your worth and your value. And you shouldn't be doing that. You should not be doing that. Mine just took flight. It just jumped out, right? See, like the song that just popped into your head, history has its eye on you, right? Its eye on you as well, right? You are enough. Do not doubt your worth. I'm going to read what this card says, number 20. I've never even read Amanda Giorgetti's card. I'm interested. I might go back to that in a minute just to see. I never even read it. All right. I got you. Okay. This card felt a lot like Elizabeth's card a little bit. All right. There will always be someone in your life who doubts the amazing things you're capable of. It is then that you must decide to be your biggest champion. Believe wholeheartedly in your own worth, regardless of outside opinion. Feed yourself a steady diet that speaks to self love, self kindness, and self confidence. And this is saying basically that you have to hold space despite of. That's what's coming in on this. So it's like, despite of the haters, right? Despite of the people who cheer for you not to succeed, right? There are always people that are going to tell you how you can't, you won't, you never will. There's always those people in this world, right? And then again, it goes back to you standing in your power. It's like y'all can believe whatever you want to believe. Kind of like the villain, right? Kind of like the villain. Like, y'all can believe whatever you're going to believe. And here's what just came in for me. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Like, that's what just came in, right? Is don't believe me, just watch. You have to understand that. It's like, hang it on the wall and read it. Hang it on the wall and read it. I am always enough. Not sometimes, not just when I'm doing what they want me to do, not just when my life is exactly how it's supposed to be, not when I've done this or not when I've done that, but right now, in this moment, and all of the things and all of the mess and all of the things that you don't think are where they need to be in your life right now, you are exactly enough, exactly where you are, exactly how you are. And a lot of times, like I talked about the other day, and it's just coming in huge, huge, huge. A lot of times we block our blessings because we don't create room for it. We stay living in our mess. We stay living in our clutter. We stay living as a self prophecy of our own regret, right? We continue to make choices and decisions to fulfill the prophecy that we're not enough. We upper limit ourselves, right? We take the path that was easily taken because everybody thinks I'm going to fail anyhow. I might as well enjoy this whatever. Or nobody thinks I've got what it takes anyhow, so why try anymore, right? And that's where this is telling you, you have got to be a lighthouse. You've got to shine so bright that the haters get blinded, right? Because you need to shine that bright, not for them. It's not about them. The reason you have to be a lighthouse, you have to shine that bright for yourself. You have to be your own guiding light. And that can take a lot of bright, right? That takes a lot of shining sometimes because, you know, it's easy if you got 10,000 people shining lights and telling you how great you are. But when you are out there in the dark, when you're surrounded by darkness, people that don't want you to achieve and don't want you to succeed, you have to shine bright enough for all, so you can see through all the bullshit, right? You have to be bright enough to see through all the lies. You have to be bright enough to understand that you are enough. You are already enough. You are always enough, and you will forever be enough. And exactly as you are in your moment, right? Don't doubt your worth. And when you make choices that are not in your highest and best good, that is you doubting your worth. And that is your card tonight, Gina. That is your card tonight, Gina. Does that make sense? Someone wrote, I want a card. I'm not sure who that is. If you can tell me who that is in the comments, I can probably do that one more. So next we have Melanie Faircloth. Melanie, y'all give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go grab something to drink real quick. I gotta have water or something. That didn't take long. I just grabbed a diet. Leslie McCarty. Thank you for tagging people. That's Leslie. Okay. Thank you. Let me pull that name and pull her up here. Leslie. Where did my pen go? There it is. There it is. Okay. Leslie M. Okay. So. Okay. I'm glad that it makes sense, Gina. A towel up here. That's my German chocolate cake eating towel. All right, Melanie, you ready? Would you do me a favor? I'm going to need you to limit your distractions. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Right. Exhale it slowly. I'm calling in all my angels, guides, and helpers. I'm calling in Melanie's. I'm calling in Mel's angel team. Her spirit helpers. Okay, Mel, you 100,000,000,000% have a Spider-Man guide, just so you know. One of your guides came in looking like Spider-Man. I love you so much. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love that. I love that. I love that. Did I tell y'all that I last week when I was like on 420 cookies and I was like totally like open, and that's why also I eat edibles and do a little bong hit before I start these card readings because it gives me a moment to like allow myself to be an open channel and a clear channel for these readings. Um, so that's one of the other reasons that I utilize cannabis for that. So yes, you do, and I have a Martha Stewart guide. She is the coolest thing in the whole wide world. She gives me great ideas. Oh Mel, you got two cards. Is Brittany sitting right there with you? Is Brittany sitting right there with you? Yes or no? Because I feel like she is. I feel like she is. I have a Ninja Turtle. That's hilarious. I have some interesting ones. Like here's the truth of the matter, right? I'm new. Yes, okay. So two cards popped out. Interestingly enough, um, it's so interesting. Like I don't even I feel like the card that I pulled, this card is for Brit. It's Lioness, and it says you've earned all your stripes. And I don't know why. I feel like this is for Brit, right? And I think it was the hair immediately, like the red hair, like her, she just did her hair. And we were just talking about the snack thief, right? And that's like a mama lion, like a mama bear and lioness, right? You earned your stripes kind of thing. Um, and then the other card that came in again was Mel was confidence, and that card came up again, but it came for you in a different way, right? And it says it comes with time and practice. And I'm getting a very strong message about the two of you, like your connection. And it's it's kind of like this is a couples reading in its own sense. The way that I'm this is coming in for me, it's basically saying that is this okay if I like give you all this reading? Can I get a permission? Like you do I have consent to give this reading? Because I feel like there is some there's this is kind of about stepping into that parental guidance relationship of the things, right? Because you know I know that you've been with dated other people who have kids, and I know that that's you're cool with kids. I love that, right? But I feel like this is a serious one, right? This is a big one, and I feel like there is confidence in that arena that's going to take some time and some patience, right? And I feel like for Brit, right, she has earned all of her stripes, and that she needs to have the confidence to kind of guide this, like, right? So you are the mom, right? You've earned all of your stripes. You have every right to kind of dictate how things are going to go forward, and you need to be confident in that, right? And when you it's kind of like there's a lot of like this going on with these cards, if that makes sense, right? where you have each had opportunities that, confidence in the relationship, in yourselves, right? In your roles as in the relationship, in your roles as a parenting, in your roles as caregivers, and in a lot of different ways, right? I feel like these cards are here and here and here and here and all around. And what I'm telling you is this. I want you to both understand this, right? Um, growing in confidence, right? Growing in confidence individually and as a partnered pair and as parents. Because if you're going to spend time together, like you spend time together, live together, all the things, right? I know because I was with my husband who had children that were not my children. But whenever I'm in the home, we had to come up with some parenting plans, right? Parenting plans. And it's all fun when it's all fun. But when it gets to be like disciplining and grades and bedtimes and schedules and co-parenting with the actual other parent, all those things, it's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard to have confidence and to know, do you step into the power role? Where does it come into play, right? For everybody, for everybody. And what's coming in for me is that lean into each other, right? Sometimes you're on the beach reading the book, right? Sometimes you're the mermaid out in the ocean, right? Sometimes you get to um, take the trip by yourself, right? And look out the window, and sometimes you don't, right? But if you do it together, right, and you lean into each other and you give each other patience, it just came in patience and grace, right? And clear communication. Like this is like screaming to me right now about say what needs to be said and be confident enough to know it doesn't change how you feel about one another. But sometimes things just need to be said, right? You can still love each other, but sometimes you need to be by yourself and do your own little thing. Right? Sometimes you need to be the lioness. Sometimes you need to be the quiet, looking out the window person, right? It's all about the balance, is what I'm getting in this, right? Because like, look at that. It's like having confidence, right, and being a lion. And here's what's interesting, right? This is lioness. Does anything about this card scream aggression or any of those things? No, it doesn't. It's a peaceful card. There's water imagery. There's the book is what communication came into me, right? I felt like this is a how-to book that she was reading, and what is she actually reading? She's reading a fairy tale, right? She's reading a fairy tale book, which is interesting, right? I love that she's reading. I thought it was like family tales for a second, but that's what I'm getting for this, right? That it can go either way for either one of you. You both have to have confidence, which will take some time, and then does that make sense? Like I feel like this is. I'm gonna pull another set of cards and out of another deck for y'all in a second. But I'm gonna go ahead and read the lioness card and the confidence card again, just to see if there's anything clear on the 13. Let's see here, lioness. Aha, aha, right? That divine light imagery, yes. Naturally, sometimes with growth comes a little scaring. I'm sorry, a little scarring. A little scarring. With growth comes scarring. You've come incredibly far, and you should be proud of the person you've become. Think of your scars not as a reminder of the pain you've had to endure in the past, but as proof that you can survive anything, right? So that's a lot of it too. And I feel like that's a lot of the communication, right? A lot of communication is that, y'all both probably carry some scars from prior relationships. That's the hard part that you don't want to talk about. Like when you're doing a live, like I know y'all had some stuff like belong with your scars, right? But this is like, team, you got to say it. Okay, this is a good way to say it, right? Everybody carries battle scars, right? But you have to have the confidence that you two are not the people that cause the scarring. And you have to, it takes time to be confident in that. And good night, love and light, Gina. So that's kind of what that was about too. It was a lot about like past stuff and letting it go. And like I said, I knew you had relationships with 4 kids and all the things, and I was trying to hint about it, but the book was like, here's what you have to say. So um, with growth comes scarring, right? As you go through life, there's things that leave scars on us. And I would say it's a blessing or a lesson, a blessing or a lesson. And if you're lucky, it's both. And I feel like every lesson is a blessing in its own way. So um, I think y'all know what that's about. And I know that y'all are going to be over helping me some, and I would love to do a reading for y'all. Yeah. So you basically have to release all of like the scars that are there. You can't erase them, right? They are kind of what makes you who you are. And those little remnants of the fear and the worrisome, like is this time the one, like the fear of leaving, the fear of abandonment, the fear of whatever the fear may be, whatever those fears were, right? You carry those into new things. And the key is to have confidence that with time and practice, you learn, right? You learn to love the scars. You learn how to negotiate the scars. You learn how to navigate them, and you learn how to stand in the power of your love, because it takes time and it takes practice, so that both parties can feel that they are supported, right? That they are taken care of, that they are safe, that they are secure. Because we all know, right? We all know that words are great. Like we can say that out loud. It's the same thing I said. Like I can say I love you to myself, and wiping away the fog and looking in the mirror. And when it says be true, you can say, I know that you love me. I know that you're not going to leave me. But there's a piece of you that's like, is this the time? Is this the fight? That do I have to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to lose this, right? And so what this is saying is that don't stress, right? All of those little pieces and parts of what happened in the past make you who you are. They make you uniquely you. They make y'all uniquely y'all. And that with time and practice, the confidence to stand into that power of all the things and not be shook by them, right? To look in the mirror and to mean it when you say it, right? Like I told Red and I had an argument the other night, and I was blah blah blah, and I no longer don't let it out for fear of being left. And I'm like, if he has to leave me because of what I say, then it's obviously we shouldn't be together, right? So I'm gonna be okay with it. And that's just standing in the taking the time and the patience with that confidence that, some things just have to be said and they have to deal with it. And you have to deal with what they say and figure out how you're going to negotiate. And if you can't be there because of that, then you can't be there because of that. Everybody's going to be okay in the end. But having the confidence to be that true lioness that you are for both of you. Okay. Next we have Kim Jones. Are you still here, Kim? Melanie Lewis, did you want a card as well? Are you still here? I'm not sure who's still here. I have Kim Jones and Leslie McCarty, and then Melanie Lewis, if she's here, would like one. And then I'm done for the night. I was on here a little longer than I thought I'd be, but who cares, right? All right, so let's go ahead and do Kim Jones. Is she here? Melanie Lewis, I know, is here. So Kim, are you here so I can pull your card for you? I'm gonna take a bite of this German chocolate cake. It's starting to kick in. All right, Kim Jones. Leslie, are you still here? I'm going to give Leslie McCarty, because she was next after Kim, and Kim another minute, and then if not, I'll go to Melanie. And then we'll be done. Giving y'all a second. I know there's a delay. That's why I say that. I know there's a huge delay. I wanted to show y'all what I got in the mail today. Couple of things, actually. So, Nancy Bulliard's prize came in. Mel, yours is on the way. I got your green one coming because that's your favorite color. So this is Nancy. Her favorite color was purple. So this is what a poker choker looks like. This is what it is. Comes in little bags. It's poker choker. I'm going to show you a poker choker. Wait a second. I'm going to go ahead and do Melanie's card then. She's the only one still here, okay? And then that is what a poker choker looks like. You put your lighter in there. So that piece of paper comes out and you put your lighter down in there. And then it has the little stick to poke your choke. So that's what a poker choker is. It's a lighter, right? A packer, so I can like pack my bowl with it, and then a poker. Speaking of which, stop the camera for just a moment because I'm not trying to go back to Facebook jail. Okay, so we're gonna do Melanie Lewis, and then we're done. Calling out my angels, guides, and helpers. Calling in Melanie's. Okay. All right. Last card. Last card. Okay, Melanie. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. This card's jumped out again. I pulled the card behind it just to see if maybe I just missed the card it was telling me to pull. But it's interesting. This card came out again. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this straight from the book when this came out again. Confidence. It comes with time and practice. And maybe that is just. And this is the thing. Like I was like trying to pull another card, and I think that the spirit's like, hey, no. People, maybe more than one person needs that exact same message. We're gonna read the confidence card and see what it says. Okay. Confidence. It says, it seems like everywhere around you, people are chattering about how confident they are and just how freeing it feels. You wish you could relate to them, but you haven't gotten there yet. Listen, it's all right. Confidence is not an instant or overnight evolution. Just like with everything else, it takes time, practice, and a lot of learning of toxicity. So, interestingly enough, um, I think that's exactly the card that I pulled this for no reason. Start a revolution. I was like, is this the card? No, this is not the card. It's confidence, right? And I know that you are on a lot of the lives, right? And you're coming to the Woo Woo 101 retreat. And I know that you're like probably thinking like, I need this. I'm ready for it. We've talked about the things kind of that are there. But here's the thing, right? You are exactly where you are supposed to be on this journey. If you're feeling, this is all coming in quick, Melanie. It's saying like if you're feeling like 3 steps forward, 10 steps back, welcome to the club, right? Welcome to the club, right? Everybody feels the same way. And don't feel like just because you're not as vocal about your journey, that you're not live every 15 minutes, that's not your journey. That is not your journey. And that what's coming in for me is that, how your healing and how your spirit journey and how your ascension is going is exactly how it's supposed to look, exactly how it's supposed to feel for Melanie Lewis. And it's telling me to read this behind me. It's telling me to read this behind me. Don't compare your life to others. There's no comparison between the sun and the moon. They both shine when it's their time. Have the confidence to be true to your healing journey. You don't owe me an explanation for it. You don't owe Heather an explanation for it. You don't owe Courtney an explanation for it. You don't owe any person other than Melanie Lewis an explanation for what Melanie Lewis does. How she does it, where she does it, when she does it. It's no one's business but yours. You are doing what you need to do for you. How that looks is going to be a lot different than how it looks for me, or how it looks for Melanie Faircloth, or how it looks for anybody else in the entire planet. Trust in the process, detach from the outcome. Definitely need to hear that tonight for sure. Those exact words. I was questions myself on several things tonight. Were you questioning yourself, or did somebody put doubt into your mind? Right? It's okay to I question myself all the time. Girl, I question myself all the time. I'm going to tell y'all, every time I get off of a live, every time, I was like, was that was awful. I ruined my entire business over that stupid live. I didn't say anything I was supposed to say. I didn't tie it all back together. I'm not even going to watch this. It doesn't make sense. Oh my gosh, I can't stand this. You know why? You know why I do that? Because, yes, somebody put doubt in my mind, and then I start questioning myself. Exactly. That's why I question my lives. I have one person 2 years ago who told me they were tired of seeing my face on live. I got on their nerves and nobody listened. Nobody needed to hear all that nonsense. 2 years ago. Do you know how many times I've had somebody tell me that I needed to hear those words tonight, those exact words? How many times somebody says, if I had not seen your live today, I don't know what the next step would have been. If I would have let that one person, oh, it's okay. I'm okay with it. That person they didn't want to hear because they didn't want to do the work, right? They didn't want to do the healing work. They don't want to do that, right? It's okay. Not everything is for everybody. I tell people all the time, either people love me or they hate me, and there is no in between. It doesn't seem like it's either I'm your cup of tea or I am not your shot of whiskey. I mean, it's okay. I do not get upset about that, y'all. If y'all knew the people that message me on some nonsense, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea. I should be ashamed of myself. Like, oh, tisk, tisk, tisk. Send you a free sample. Would you like lube or would you like dildos or doobies? Which one would you like? I mean, if y'all really stop and think about where I live, a small town in the Bible Belt, and my two businesses are sex toys and weed. I am Taboo Tammy. That's what I used to call it. That's what I called it all last year: is dildos and doobies, kink and kush, sex and sativa. What do you want? I mean, last year I was yeah. Yes, but there are people who I am not for them, Melanie. And you let somebody put a doubt in your mind, right? I don't know if you were here. I was talking to Melanie, to Amanda Giorgetti, right? You need to live your life in a way in which you do what you know is right. If the information that you have about something and what you are doing is 100% in alignment with your morals, with what you hope to outline and accomplish, right? If you're doing the things that are right, you need to do it and not worry about anybody else. Period. In the story, drop the mic, exclamation point, close the door, lock it, all the things, okay? And again, It's taking unlearning that behavior. Number one, we're not confident enough in ourselves to make a decision. So when we do make a decision, what we do is we second guess our ability to have the knowledge to do it. Then if we did make a decision, we're like gonna like, hey, so here's what I was thinking, and like, well, why would you think that? Then automatically your entire confidence, you start second guessing everything about it. They may have said paint the wall blue. You heard the whole idea, don't even like remodel the house, right? That's how our brains go when we are dealing with unlearning toxicity, when we are unlearning trauma responses. I told Red the other night, like, this is the kind of communication I've had to have with my husband as my growth has gone, as built up, because I'm trying to be a different person. He, growing up, my mother was not a good housekeeper. I don't know why this story is important, but somebody needs to hear it. So bear with me, and I'm sorry. It's already been an hour and a half. I'm sorry. Um, but my mom was not a great housekeeper. She just wasn't. She just didn't like housework. She grew up with housekeepers, right? She grew up with like staff in her house. She did not have to do those things. Um, and my nanny Deskins, my mother's mother-in-law, my dad's mom, was a homemaker. She was up at before anybody, Appalachia grandma, y'all. My nanny was up before anybody. And my granny was a farmer and milked in the morning. My nanny was up. I don't know when she went to sleep. She would have homemade biscuits and gravy, bacon, sausage, fried potatoes, you name it. She'd have her breakfast ready for my granddaddy to go to work. Or she'd have some breakfast sandwich and coffee in a thermos if he was doing early morning plowing or something. They'd come in the mid morning. She'd have a full breakfast. He came home for lunch. He'd have a full lunch. She kept the house clean, did laundry every day. She lived and died for her home. Okay. But when my dad would come home from work in the evenings, and if my mom didn't have everything just done, if he would start doing it and acting like, well, he's got to work and do all the house chores, or he would make comments about it, or he would have something to berating to say about it. So as a people pleaser, this is how early like my conditioning, and I'm thinking somebody's going to relate to this, right? In an effort not to have him ride her ass all night and have to hear about it at dinner, about all the things, I took it upon myself, and that's why I'm like anal, not as much as I used to be. I mean, probably to an extent still, about my house being clean, especially if I work from home or I'm home and Red is outside of the home. Even if I work more hours, even if I worked further, it didn't matter. In my opinion, number one, from the time I was this tall, my grandma would tell me that no man wants a woman that can't keep a clean house and can't cook good. Like that's what she would tell you all the time. Like, I don't know how you can get a man. Your room is a wreck. Like she would say that. How are you going to get a husband and a family if you don't keep your room clean? And like when I was little, like I learned how to cook biscuits and gravy at like 3 or 4. So he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to make biscuits and gravy because it's how you get a husband. Your kids will want this one day. Your grandkids will want this one day. So I was taught that from an early age. So here, the other day, I was taking my day off. Red was getting ready to do something, and he says, "I'm sweeping the floor," or something. He's like, "I'm gonna get this floor swept because it looks like shit," kind of thing, right? So in that moment, and immediately I got triggered. She's like, "Oh my god, we got people coming by the house. I gotta sweep this floor." Um, I got way triggered, way triggered, and I started telling myself that same story. I'm a bad housekeeper. My house is awful. I'm awful. I'm lazy. I don't do anything. I started telling myself that story. I'm not worthy. He doesn't love me. I don't love me. I don't know what the hell's going on. What's happening? You ever done that? Like like even that, just telling that story makes me bite my fingernails. Right? We have no idea how deep these things go. Melanie, I want to choose. I tell myself all the time, I know better, and I've worked hard to get this far. I still have the tools to make the better choice and make the necessary changes, but unfortunately, I still let the stuff. That's what I'm saying, though. We all do. That's what this is telling you, right? I'm telling you, this happened the other day, sweetheart. Don't compare your life to others, right? Yep, I do too. I have that. I'm not the best housekeeper either, but I've learned that as part of my trauma response, I'm a work in progress going to clutter my life, right? Um, yep, right. OCD. I can't stand it. Like I can't relax when I see something that needs to be done. I will obsess over that thing. Dust, dirt, dust is the big one. Dust is the big one. Dishes, water in sinks, all the things, right? So what I'm telling you is that that is so normal. We are all works in progress. We are all works in progress. Give yourself credit because you're a lot further along than you probably give yourself credit for. We all let the small stuff just cracks, sleep into cracks. Sometimes my crack's not so small, right? But um, what matters is that you recognize it. You recognize it with time and practice. It'll get easier. And here's a difference between where I'm at in my journey. If we're comparing, because we compare, because comparison's the thief of joy. So let's just steal some joy, right? Only difference is that I realize that everybody, right, has some shit that seeps through their cracks a little bit, and I don't get upset. I'm like, it's seeping through cracks. These last 2 days, I have had to physically remind myself, right? Physically remind myself that I am holding space to spite of. This is some bullshit. Like, ooh, I have a little bit of love and light, a little bit of like, let's throw hands because I am ready. I'm like, oh, can I just go fight something and this be over? I'm like, whatever this lesson is, I'm like, what am I not learning? Like, what lesson am I not? And I want, and here's the thing, right? It's like that what's up song. Like, what am I not hearing? I don't need this to be this hard. Right? I'm like, this needs to stop. um, yes, Melanie, all of that. I can't say anything be out of place. It might not make sense to anyone else, but it makes sense, does to my house, my rules. Yeah, I get that. I have a house that my grandson does not enjoy because I am so stressed about a mess. Um, I feel like I need to rage room some days. Yeah, I cannot stand things to be untidy. Can't stand it. Like, cannot stand it. And it makes me a little crazy. So, yeah, Melanie, I get you, girl. I do get you. But, sometimes you just like yesterday, I was like, it'll be fine. It will be fine. I'm gonna lay here and do my thing, and I laid there and did my thing. I did clean up the kitchen last night because he fell asleep. Not a fucking mess, but whatever. I ain't leaving a mess in my kitchen, but I got over it, right? So those are the messages that I had come in tonight. I appreciate y'all for letting me do that. I knew I had to get that out a little bit. I needed to let spirit flow through so I could kind of get some energy moving, I think, because I have a lot of stuck stuff. Like the eyes feel a little bit better tonight. Right before I came on here, I did some drops and some hot compress because when they couldn't see me, they told me to do these drops and hot compress. Um, but I feel better now that I got some stuff through. I still feel like there's burning, like a lot of burning here in the throat chakra for me, like a ton of it. And I don't know where it's coming from. I thought I needed to do this tonight. That would relieve it, but apparently I need to do some more. So not this, but something else. But thank y'all for tuning in tonight and sitting here with me and let me do this. I'm gonna go get off of here, go to bed. I'm tired. I'm really tired. That took more out of me than I thought it was going to. I'm almost done with my night med. Almost done. I'm gonna finish that, which is like, I just have, I like saved icing, got like icing left and a bowl, and I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah, you know, I forget I'm home by myself all the time during the day. So for Christmas, Brad got me the camera doorbell. I don't know that I could do it. I'd want to go straighten it up. I'm not good at smashing. We can go try it. Shit, let's go make the appointment. Tell me when. Um, but I forget we have the camera. And a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, maybe even 2 months ago now, maybe it was back in February. We had a nice day, and it was raining. One of those good, like, I don't know, those good shower rains. It was good. Like, it wasn't cold. It was just a nice rain. And I was out there dancing and screaming in the rain, and I forgot that I was on the doorbell camera for Red to watch at work. What are you doing? And he can like talk through, say, "Hey, you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I might need that. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So go out and do your guttural screams in the morning. I'm too tired tonight too. I'm gonna go get to the bed and spend some time with my hubby since I didn't until now. I did this instead. But 420 cookies. We've got about maybe 5 of those left after today's orders. We also have 6 watermelon lollipops left. This is dropping this weekend. The Cinco de Mayo Munchie of the Month box. Margarita lime cookies, churros, and the hippie hazelnut dip. Tell your friends. Don't forget. And on that note, peace, love, feast. Stay elevated. See y'all later.